I think we have 16 people who signed up to speak. That gives everybody roughly 4 minutes each. If you want, you don't have to use the entire 4 minutes if you're not so inclined. But we have asked our board assistant secretary to keep a time on it, and when you reach the end of it, she'll flash a red card just so we can make sure that everybody gets their turn. So I think, Allison, did you want to go first? Okay, and the protocol, we have to, you know, as a matter of open meetings, etc., you need to state your name and address so they can record it for the minutes, and then whatever comment or position you wish to urge.
You may want to say who the next person is.
Okay, and on deck we'll have Chris. I'm afraid I'm going to butcher this. Emanuelidis. I'm sorry, I couldn't read the handwriting. Okay. And this is for you to state your position. If there are questions that come up, you know, I don't know that this isn't the forum to go back and forth with debate.
I got it. I'm not debating.
Right, but
is this working, by the way?
If there are questions that come up, we'll try to post answers on the website if it's something that hasn't been answered already.
I think she just flipped it.
Let's stick with the hand mic for these 16 people instead of the clip-on, because the clip-on is complicated, so that hand mic's got to be plugged in.
I think she just did that. Are we okay now? I'm just checking. So, okay.
Elizabeth, you all right? Elizabeth.
Yeah.
No, I'll talk louder as long. I'm going to be screaming at the people on TV. Okay. Here.
And can they hear outside, Elizabeth?
Yes. Can people hear in here?
Yeah.
I think we're good.
Okay. All right, so my name is Allison Carpin, and I live at 308 Martin Lane, and I have 2 children. One is in the district now, and one will be coming in 5 years. So I speak to you today to introduce the views of an organized group of more than 50 parents. We've also retained an expert team in the field of educational facilities planning who may be able to share with you, through the words of a resident, their thoughts and concerns for our children. Our position is clear. There's absolutely not been sufficient dialogue or in-depth consideration of the summit site to merit a decision on March 8th. That said, a delay in the vote on March 8th should not delay the time it takes to build a new facility. Indeed, it is a rare opportunity for a district to have a site selection option, and we insist that such a decision include a careful, transparent consideration of all options. Together, we ask you to consider the following 5 points. Point 1. We respectfully request that you delay the site vote on March 8th, but not stop the process moving forward. The selection of an architect, which you may or may not have done yet, we haven't heard about that until just now, possibly you have, and their expertise. So we would like the expertise of the architect to be available to guide the site selection process. When an architect is selected, Plan Con Part A should be filed, and to date we're unaware of a complete educational facility study that's been completed for the district, a requirement by the state. Both are activities that can occur without needing to make a decision on March 8th and moving the process forward in a timely fashion. Point 2. We request a process that includes more transparency and involvement. Concretely, we suggest an advisory committee be formed, similar to that developed in Radnor and Lower Merion school districts. Point 3. We request that the strengths and weaknesses of each site, independent of a structure, be carefully considered and absolutely valued. An identical program, or the words given to the number of classrooms and building space, does not equate to identical learning environments. I ask you to recall your own home buying experience and consider if all 3-bedroom, 2.5-bath properties are equal. Location, property size, and outdoor learning opportunities for our kids should not be removed from this equation. My point 4. Parents have significant and justified concerns about the safety of the West site now. If construction begins on that site, these concerns are amplified. Coupled with safety, we have evidence-based concerns about the learning disruption that will occur, both for regular and special education students, and concerns for the health of our children, such as those with asthma, who, with the current proposal, will be attending school daily at a construction or demolition site. Together, we are resolute that if the West site is chosen, our children must be moved from that site during the construction as initially proposed. Point 5. We request that the cost-saving measures that have been considered at the current West site also be formally considered at the Summit site. The Summit site deserves the same detailed consideration and attention. For example, the Summit Plan site includes a renovation and reduction in the impervious area The savings on construction and stormwater management costs will bring total costs in line with or less than the present West proposal. I turn now to a series of parents who are prepared to speak briefly and succinctly on each of these points, as I hope I have. In order to communicate our perspective on the planning options at the Summit site, we have also had some professionally prepared visuals, which we expect may take a couple extra minutes to explain. We respectfully request that you yield a few minutes for us to review those slides. After this information is presented, we hope to be able to speak to any questions that may arise with representatives that we have from our firm, Education Environment Planning Consultants. Thank you.
Hello, I'm Chris Emanuelides. I live at 1 Rose Valley Road, 1 Rose Valley Road in Moylan. I have a wife named Sandra and my 5-year-old daughter Isabella. We're very proud and very fortunate to live in such an intelligent community that cares so much about our children's education. Just in November of last year, we learned informally from a group of friends that there was a major change going on within our district having to do with rehabbing or relocating one of our elementary schools. I've been in this area for 5 years. I may not be the most engaged parent, but it is something that I just found out kind of by word of mouth. And this informal group started to gather, and we realized piece by piece how difficult it actually is to do what you have to do. How difficult it is to process and balance not only the fiscal problems that we have and we're all facing, but to balance all of our citizens within our district. And it's a very difficult and painstaking process. And it's something that just this informal group of parents have started to engage in and just scratch the surface. Especially when we're talking about a major capital improvement that also puts forth the values and puts forth the vision of what this school district could be, not only now, but in the future. So we wondered about the overall vision of the district and about the best possible resources that could be distributed to all of us into the future. My main point is that it takes a while to do this. And no doubt that there is a crisis. No doubt that the poor school needs help. And in no way should we delay that process. But we should just open the dialogue a little more to have more parents hear, listen, and share their thoughts before we move forward with a decision that's going to affect all of us and our children into the future. Thank you very much.